So I want to talk about security in the age of AI. AI has really changed a lot over the last few years, and everyone's using it. So are attackers to scale up what they already do. So they're not just sending bad phishing emails. Instead they are using automated tools to scan the networks, write exploits. They're running targeted social engineering attacks much faster than before. I was reading the latest ISC2 workforce study, and they found that 87% of the companies dealt with some kind of AI-driven attack last year, and 76% of them admit that they are struggling to keep up with how fast these automated attacks are moving. But the bigger issue is that we just don't have enough people to defend these networks. I'm quite big on education. Right now, there's a global shortage of around, millions of cybersecurity jobs. The US alone has like shortage of over 500,000 roles, and the UK has a gap of like 93,000. And the bad guys are leveraging AI, they are leveraging automation. Security teams are understaffed, and the traditional ways of learning security simply by watching a tutorial is not going to be helping you, to keep up the pace. So if you want to get into this industry or move up, just by watching videos or reading books won't cut it. You actually have to get your hands dirty with practical practice and build real skills. When people ask me how to do that without spending days setting up complicated environments, I would say use a browser-based platform, right? Just start with that. A good example is TryHackMe. I'll leave the links in the description below. The idea with browser-based learning is that it's an interactive learning environment. You don't have to do a lot of initial setup hassle, and instead of making you configure, let's say, virtual machines and networks on your own computer, they give you like an in-browser sandbox, which they are calling the attack box. So you just click once and a full Kali Linux machine boots up right in your web browser itself. And they also organize everything into structured paths, like pre-security, what you need to learn, SOC level 1, junior pen test engineer. So you always know what structure to follow. The catch with TryHackMe is that it's highly guided. Okay, it's great for building confidence, but I would say you have to be disciplined. You can't just copy paste commands without reading the explanations. Okay, you won't actually learn how to analyze things. So don't be a script kiddie. But this structured sandbox is quite efficient, right? So they have a free tier with basic labs. If you want a premium, it is quite cheap as well, around $14 a month, about $10 a month if you pay annually. And there are a lot of student discounts as well to bring it down, like $8 a month. So I would recommend checking it out. The links can be found in the description below. Sign up, try it out for free at least, and let me know what you think. To understand why we need these practical skills, look at how the modern threats are bypassing traditional security. Just take some examples from the news. So attackers are using AI to target human psychology through like deepfakes and voice cloning. And there was a cloud security, firm Wiz had in late 2024, I believe, attackers cloned the voice of their CEO, and the scammers sent voicemails to like dozens of employees asking for like credentials. And the attack basically failed, but not because of a firewall that blocked it. Okay, it failed because the employees were trained to be skeptical, and the scammers made like a technical mistake as well. They trained the AI on the CEO's public conference presentations. So because our public speaking voice is very different than our day-to-day casual talking voice, the employees noticed like, okay, the tone is a little off, and they reported it. Ferrari also, they had a close call in July 2024 as well. A senior executive got a WhatsApp message from someone pretending to be the CEO, and talking about like a top secret acquisition or whatever. The scammer, they then called using a real-time voice clone that perfectly copied the CEO's voice and accent, which is kind of scary. So the executive stayed alert and used a simple technique, asked a personal question, and that's quite smart, quite clever. So it's like, what book did you recently recommend to me? And the deepfake AI just couldn't answer that and immediately hung up. But when people are not trained to think that way, the results are devastating. A finance worker at the engineering firm Arup was tricked into transferring $39 million after joining a video call where the company's CEO and several colleagues were deepfaked in real time. So these examples show us that technology alone won't secure a company. You need people who understand how these attacks work and know how to think critically. All right, I'm going to share with you some common mistakes that beginners make when they're first trying to get into this field. And the first one is tool-centric fallacy. So it is very, very easy and tempting to jump straight into flashy tools like Metasploit, Burp Suite or Nmap because they look like what you see in the movies, right? But you have to think about it that the tool is just an automation of a concept. So if you don't understand networking fundamentals, if you don't understand how DNS works, how the Windows and Linux manage permissions, you are basically just clicking buttons. So the second an exploit fails, which happens constantly in the real world, you will not have any idea how to troubleshoot it. The second mistake is trying to learn everything at once because there's the FOMO, fear of missing out. Cybersecurity is massive. You have defensive operations, you have offensive testing, you have cloud security, you have cryptography, you have risk management. If you try to study all of these at the same time, you're going to end up with a shallow familiarity with 50 different things, but you won't actually be competent enough in any single area to pass a technical interview. So it may seem overwhelming at first, but which is why the learning paths help quite a bit. So don't try to learn everything at once. The third mistake is focusing entirely on theory-based certifications. Many people collect multiple certifications. I mean certifications help, but believing that they guarantee a job is not cool. But cybersecurity, is a practical trade. Knowing what the textbook definition of a vulnerability is doesn't mean that you can find it in a system or you can write a remediation plan under pressure. So hiring managers will test your hands-on problem solving skills, not just your memory. So make sure you're getting your hands-on experiences when you're learning side by side from platforms like TryHackMe, any books or any tutorials, whatever you're using. And this is why structured practical learning is so important. For example, to address the rise of machine learning threats, TryHackMe recently put together an AI security learning path. So it basically features 25 guided lessons aligned with the OWASP LLM top 10 framework. Basically like set of best practices you need to follow, and you don't just read about the prompt injection or data poisoning. Instead, you launch a sandbox, interact with a live chatbot interface, try to exploit vulnerable models, and then deploy defensive guardrails to secure them. To help people validate these hands-on skills, they also offer 3 practical certifications that I would recommend you to check out in this order. So if you're brand new, there's the SEC1, which is their Cybersecurity one-on-one certification. So it is a 24-hour practical exam where you are dropped into like a virtual environment and you're tasked with solving hands-on challenges across Linux, Windows, basic networking, and web security. If you want to go the defensive route, they have the SAL1, Security Analyst Level 1, which basically they developed alongside the industry teams at companies like Accenture and Salesforce. So this exam basically puts you in a realistic security operations center simulator where you have to triage incoming alerts, investigate logs, and make escalation decisions under a 24-hour window because time is critical. And if you prefer, let's say, a more offensive security approach, they offer the Junior Pentest certification as well. It's like a 48-hour practical exam where you can run a full scope pen test against web apps, network infrastructure, and Active Directory, and then deliver like a professional report as well. So these kinds of practical credentials show the employer that okay, you can actually do the work and not just memorize answers for a test. But also not just that, because in your live interview, when you are interviewing for a job, they're going to give you these hands-on exercises, and because you've already had that sort of like hands-on experience with labs, it does help quite a bit rather than just mugging up answers from a book. So in the end, I would just like to say that the cybersecurity job market remains highly resilient because the demand is still incredibly high. In the United States, the average salary is around $140,000, with entry-level roles are going to start between $55,000 to $85,000. In the UK, cyber salaries track about 27% higher than the national average. So I would recommend first get a foundational certification like CompTIA Security Plus to pass the corporate HR resume filters. And from there, you back it up with like more practical experience by building home labs, documenting projects, learning in public, taking hands-on exams like TryHackMe's SEC1 or SAL1. And when you get to the technical interview, you can just, you can walk the hiring manager through your portfolio and prove that you actually know how to operate on a real system, and they're going to give you some hands-on tasks as well. But yeah, if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. For you to try Hack Me. I'll leave the links in the description below for you to check out, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.